Before you go any further, look below and click the subscribe button. Hello, this is Melissa Embers with Savvy the Business Podcast, and I am on today with a group of gentlemen that decided to come together and write a book. I know, we always have men authors, and we don't see often an anthology with men. Majority of the time, it's women that's getting together to write about various things that's going on. But now we have the opportunity to talk with some of the gentlemen that's a part of this project. And I'm excited to talk to them. And I know you're excited to hear what's going on. So we're going to start out with Mr. Chip Baker. This is a project that he started and brought together these guys, and we're going to talk about how it all came about, the purpose, the why, all of those things to understand how this project, was able to come to fruition. We all have these visions, but it takes a little work behind the scenes to really push through and make some of these things happen. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to read a little bit of Chip's bio, and then we're going to have the other guys introduce themselves. So I'm going to put my eyes on y'all. Y'all know how I go. All right. Coach Chip Baker is a graduate of Hearne High School in Hearne, Texas. He attended West Texas A&M University, where he played football and graduated with a Bachelors of Science in Sports and Exercise Science and Special Education. He has a master's degree from Sam Houston State University in educational leadership. He's also been teaching and coaching for 19 years. Throughout his career, he has received Teacher of the Year on his campus twice, published several articles, published a book, and has been a head football coach, athletic director. He has a YouTube channel, Chip Baker The Success Chronicles, where he interviews people to discuss their path to success. He has been blessed to be around so many great people that he has learned from, and they have helped him grow. He is currently a teacher and coach in Conroe ISD in Conroe, Texas. His motto is live, learn, serve. Inspire, go get it. That's what I'm talking about. So thank you so much, Chip, for coming on. I like this. Live, learn, serve, inspire, go get it.
Yes, and it gives me chills every time I hear those words or say those words, because those words have meaning to me. I've lived, I've learned, I strive to serve, I strive to inspire. And the backbone of all of that is, like, it's not going to come to you. You have to go make it happen. You got to go get it. And so that's kind of what I'm all about. Truly grateful for the opportunity to be here with you, Melissa, on your platform. Thankful for the opportunity to be here. Been looking forward to it. Love the opportunity to highlight, my guys that I'm connected with, just great men doing great things. And yes, The Impact of Influence, Volume 2 is our book that we currently have out now. I'm an author of several books. I dropped about a year ago. A good buddy of mine that I interviewed, he does publishing. He reached out to me. He's like, you're connected with some great people. You ever thought about like bringing some of those people together and putting them in a book and let them tell their stories? I was like, that's a good idea. So we did that with The Impact of Influence Volume 1. We hit number 1 on Amazon, 11 categories with that book. It was a great success. Did a book tour for that. I was like, man, we've got to do a Volume 2, because there's some other people out there that I know that need this opportunity, that are great, that the people need to hear their messages and know who they are even more, to promote their platforms. And so these two amazing men here, Manny Trujillo, Leonard Webb, are great men that, I'm connected with, that are doing great things, and they are authors in The Impact of Influence Volume 2. And I'd like for them to have an opportunity to talk about who they are and what they do.
I don't know what's going on. It's kind of rainy here in Maryland, ice and snow. So, but I'm Leonard Webb, educational consultant. I was 27 years law enforcement professional. I left that just out of respect to Desmond Tutu, because I used his quote and he passed away yesterday. There comes a time when we have to stop pulling people out the river and see why they're falling in. And that's why I got into education, to keep kids from ending up in prison. And I came across the school to prison pipeline, and I said, this is perfect for me. And I started.
All right, Manny Trujillo is our next author, and let him go. All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Manny Trujillo. I'm originally from Hearne, Texas, same hometown as Chip. And we actually grew up together. So we've been lifelong friends, pretty similar upbringings. His mother and grandmother in education. My mother was in education as well. So had a big influence on me. So I went into education as well. So I'm in my 23rd year of education. A lot of people in education were big influences along with my coaches. So that's one of the reasons I went into coaching as well as education. So I coached at Conroe High School for 14 years and eventually became the head baseball coach there at Conroe High School. And then at the time, I had a family, had 3 children. My wife was in education. She's still in education as well. She's in her 25th year in education. But I wanted to put my family as a priority. So got out of coaching, and I'm still in education. I am now doing elementary PE, which I love. I get to play all day with, hundreds of kids that, I get to influence them positively daily. So I love that part of my job. As far as the project, Chip has been doing amazing things for years and years and years. And I've been blessed, and we've been blessed to see him, do many things, many ventures. The first book, many great guys in that book. And again, we're fortunate enough to where, we vacation together. Our families are very close. And we're actually on our vacation this past summer, and Chip asked me if I wanted to be a part of the volume 2. And it took me about 3 seconds to answer. And I told him, yeah, of course, So so that whole drive home, about 9 hours home, I was trying to think about what we were going to put in the book, what I was going to put in the book. And I just wanted to pay homage to, the people that were most influential to me, my family. My mom was, her influence, my wife and kids' influence on me as well. So hopefully I did that, and not knowing if I was going to get the opportunity to ever do this again, I wanted to hopefully do it right and put some stuff together. And thankfully my wife is an English teacher, so she was my editor. So I made sure to, I had things that were everywhere, and I gave it to her, and she put it together, and it was amazing what she did to it. And that's what we turned over to Chip. And I'm just honored to be a part of the project. And there's so many great men that in many of the interviews we've done so far, I've just kind of sat back and learned from them. And I think that's the great thing with the project. I mean, these men are all over the country, but I mean, I've just learned so much from them, what they do, how they serve, what's impacted them, and how they're impacting others, and the future of our society, which is what we're wanting to do. Leave this place better than when we came in. So. Again, I'm just honored to be a part of the project. Continue to be amazed at what Chip does, and everybody that he impacts. He's definitely made me a better person. So I've been privileged to grow up with him, and I know that he's been a big influence on me, my family. I'm truly. Think you should keep good people around your family, your people, and that we had my family Christmas at my house yesterday, and he was here. His family was here, so he's my family as well. So whenever my mom was leaving, my brother, we took a picture. My mom was like, "Get in here," So without a hesitation, he's in there. He's part of us, and we're part of them. So I've been blessed, and I'm honored to be a part of the project.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Well, we just had Charles to drop in. So really quick, Charles, if you could do a quick introduction and we'll go ahead and get into the interview.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon. I'm sorry for being late. Moving buildings in my new job, and I'm over here having to take care of some stuff today that I got a call on. But my name is Charles Woods. I'm so excited and pleased to be a part of this project. I was a part of the first project, which was great. The impact of influence. We didn't call it volume 1 then, but it is volume 1, and we're on volume 2 now. When Chip Baker calls, with no doubt, it's a yes. He's just that type of guy. He looks out for others. I know the project will be great. I know it'll be great for others. He's a servant leader. That's what I'm about. I think that's what every guy that's in this book is about, being servant leaders. It's been a blessing to be a part of a project like this with so much positivity. When you have so much negativity out there in the world, you want to surround yourself. I'm a first generation educator. Never thought I would be an educator. I didn't want to teach anybody's kids, didn't want to coach anybody's kids, and definitely didn't want to talk to parents about their kids. But 21 years later, this is what I'm doing, and I love every minute of it. I enjoy what I do every day. I can get up in the morning with a smile on my face, just, thoughts in my mind of how I can make somebody's life better, somebody's path better. It's a pleasure to be able to do this. This is truly a calling for me to be able to serve the community. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So let's jump right into the interview. And one thing I really want to start out this conversation is having a group of men come together to do something positive with so many different things that's been happening all over the world since, I won't even say starting in 2020. This has been going on for decades. So this is nothing new. It's like the conversation, it's like a spotlight has been turned on the conversation, but this is nothing new. And bringing a group of men together, do you think with everything that's been highlighted over these last couple of years is what kind of started pushing to do a volume 2 and to continue to work with this? Or was it just, the conversation that's been going on for decades?
I'll jump in there first and just say, for me, as you heard with all of the guys introducing themselves and telling about who they are, this is not just the impact of influence volume 2 thing. This is a life thing for these men, right? And so these men have been striving to do great things and make impacts in the lives of so many people, their entire life, right? And it just so happened that we've come together as the Avengers, like Cello said, like Leonard said, we've come together and brought it together. But really, as you were asking that question, I was reflecting on what has driven me in my day-to-day actions as a teacher, as a coach, as a husband, as a father, as a follower of Christ, as a person that's striving to make a difference. And I get up every day excited because I'm trying to live, learn, serve, and inspire and go get it every day. And so it's just a coincidence that we've come together to do that together. But really, these guys, this is a life thing for them. And so I'm truly grateful to have the opportunity to know men of this caliber, to be connected and learn and grow with men of this caliber, because they are truly amazing. And I'm so glad that people like you, Melissa, are giving us an opportunity to highlight them and talk about them, because I think, more people need to hear that positivity, right? And like Woods talked about, it's all about positivity, and, and how you view what you do will always affect how you do what you do. So it's important to look at things in a positive light.
Wow. No, you're absolutely right. And we say, it's looking at things in a positive light, but some people get so discouraged with, trying to do exactly that, but everything just keep, hitting on them, and it just keep falling and falling. It's like, I'm trying, what else can I do? I'm doing everything right. At least I think I'm doing everything right, but I'm just not able to make that breakthrough. What advice would you have for someone that's going through those type of challenges?
I'd like for Charles to share his story, because like, as you were saying that, I was thinking, like, life is hard. I mean, like I don't care who you are, I don't care how you're raised, I don't care where you can, like, life is hard. Like, it is hard to do those things. And this is an opportunity for us to share. Like, we're not coming and say, hey guys, we're perfect, everything's been great for us, we're successful. No,
right.
Like, we've been through some stuff.
Right.
Like, thank God I don't look like what I've been through, right? And so I like for like Charles to kind of share his story, because his story and background is perfect to what you were asking.
Okay. You're muted, Charles.
You're muted.
Okay, I'm trying for my phone now.
I got it.
I apologize. Everybody hear me all right?
You're good.
Yeah, we can hear you. Charles, get ready to respond to a question.
Okay.
All right, can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
All right, well, appreciate it, Chip. I used to not want to talk about my story too much, but I found out, as I go through these situations and impact kids, it's important for everybody to know a little bit about you. I don't want to take too much time, but it was a struggle for me as a kid. Both of my parents, they had certain addictions, with drugs, drug abuse, and it was days I wake up and I didn't have, the things that I need, the essential things that I need to survive, but I focus on positive. I knew as a kid, and I know it's not easy for everyone to look at the positive side of things and look into the future. But I know if you keep that positive energy and you focus on those individuals that give you positive energy, then it'll give you an opportunity to be successful. I moved in a positive way. I was surrounded by things that were totally negative, but I made a choice as a young age not to be involved in those things, because life is about choices. Things might not go right for you today, tomorrow, the next day, but you got to keep the course. You are in control of your life. You make those decisions. So I made a positive effort to keep the course in a positive direction and do things better, because I wanted better for myself. I leaned on those who had that positive energy. Thank goodness in the United States of America, we have the public educational system. Not everybody is surrounded with individuals in the public education system that takes care of them, but you can choose who you want to poke and pull as a mentor, as an adult figure. There's so many individuals in the public education system that are in it to help others, to help youngsters, move through it. So, that was my sanctuary. I went to school. A lot of people didn't know my issues, but when I walked through that building, I had a smile on my face, and I was excited to be there. I spent most of my time there, just like kids do. They spend most of the time there, and I use that piece. That you get a chance to have education. You get a chance to better yourself. You got to take advantage of those things. So that is what moved me through, surrounding myself with positive individuals, surrounding myself with friends that were positive, utilizing my athletic ability to get me a scholarship to college, and my focus wasn't to be an NFL player. It wasn't. My focus was to better my life, to get a degree, so no matter what turmoil you go through, no matter what struggles you go through, lean on those individuals that are there and have positive advice. It might help you some days it might not, but you can't give up, because this world, like Chip said, is hard. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you when you get out in the world. You got to build a shell, you got to build a team that can support you and help you through things, as well as you can support them as well.
Yeah, you mentioned one thing that really highlights, and it kind of sort of piggybacks off the initial question, is surrounding yourself by that positive influence. So many people, one, don't understand seasons, that sometimes that season is over and we need to move forward. The other thing is,
right,
we can't always worry about the next person's feelings, because if they're truly your friend, or they really support you or care about what you're doing, they're not going to make you feel bad about not, hanging out, or, going to the club, or whatever that thing is. They're not going to make you feel bad about changing the way
right.
that you're doing things, that, you're changing your focus. So with that, and whoever wants to pick this up, changing those influences, understanding that it's time for you to move on, that, I'm not in this circle anymore. I'm not saying that I hate anybody over here, but, I'm just going to move over here for now, because I'm trying to, do some things differently.
Dello, you want to jump on that one, brother?
Sure. I think it's about the gap that happens while you're going through the process of developing yourself. And I know I was leaving some of my best friends, some of the friends that protected me through school, some of my friends that got me out of trouble, some of my friends that I really had close relationships with, but I was going in a different direction. And there was always this feeling in my community that you were selling out, or you were doing something against the community. But actually, as I was moving up, I was just asking them to move up with me, to catch up. There was no reason for me to come back down to them and what they were doing. I was saying, hey, stay in school, get your education, let's work out, let's do things that are going to progress us forward, rather than coming back down to them. I said, hey, get up like 6 a.m. like me and run. Get into your books for an hour. Get some tutoring with math to help you bring you up where I'm at, and being willing to be that person to help them, and understanding that sometimes you do have to let people go if they're not willing to, meet that you're at that time in your life. I've done that throughout my life with, professionally at work, where I have to change who I'm hanging around, and it just happens with growth. And with growth, you understand that everybody can't come with you.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. And and I keep hitting on this, so I hope nobody don't think a certain type, but I keep hitting on, as men, think in a different way, and that, that ego, that that chest roar that so many men have, that I'm not a punk, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And it's moving out of that mindset, and that just because you're choosing to do something different or go a different path does not, diminish you, who you are as a man, and whatever else that you're going to do. So it's, some men, and I can't even say you get a certain age, you grow up, you understand, it don't even matter. We have, in range there that, should know better, but they don't. So with that, what do you say to those men right there that's in that space, that's kind of, it's almost like they doing a double dutch, trying to, cross that line. So what do you say about, those men that's, regardless of age, regardless of career, that need to really make that change and have those talks, where those meaningful talks, And you can still be boys at the end of the day, you know, but I'm just not gonna go over here. So what you say that what you just said will still relate to that same scenario?
Oh, absolutely. You have to jump. I left a job that I was at 27 years. I had a 401k plan. I had all that kind of stuff. And I just jumped into education because I thought it was the right thing to do. I knew God didn't give me that mission to take me off path. He gave me that mission because that's what I was supposed to do at this point in my life. 48 years old, I went back to school to get my master's degree. And 3 years later, I have my own company. I would have never have done that if I kept that same mindset of get a good government job, get insurance, get all that kind of stuff, and just live your life with 2 vacations a year. I took the risk of saying, you know what, I'm no longer going to be a part of a system that is basically keeping my people in a certain situation. I'm going to start finding out why they're falling in the river rather than being the one that's pulling them out. So moving from the correctional system into the educational system was profound for me because there were so many similarities. And I was like, this is why for 27 years, I saw young brothers coming in and out of prison. This is why. This is where it starts, and this is where I need to be. And you just have to make that jump and forget about who's saying what, and forget about, what messages you were told when you were younger. Because, like I said, the message I was told was get a good government job and just live your life. Work till you're 67, and that just wasn't the life I was going to lead.
Okay. Where do you see, or what would you like to see the impact of influence go in the sense of bringing together, guys, men, boys, to help each other, teach each other, and everybody kind of keep reaching back to pull those along with you? Where do you see the impact of influence going?
I like for Manny to kind of comment on that, because his chapter, he talked about family in his chapter, and I think all of us men in the book are family. We're brotherhood, that's growing, learning, and growing together. But then also, he's a great example of all of that you just talked about. He has a large family. He's the youngest son, in the group there. Well, I'm the youngest, but then him, nah. but then because I'm younger than him, but just just the family dynamic. He's been a great example to his family of what a man should be, and so I'd like for him to kind of just comment on that.
I appreciate that, Chip. Just a quick story with what this book has done. I have family out in Arizona, and one of my cousins, she asked for a book, so I sent her out a book, and then she sent me a picture of her son with the book. Just thinking it was so cool that he had a family member that was in a book, an author. So she was like, "Thank you. You don't know the type of impact you're having on him." So, I thought that was so cool. I thought that was awesome. And that's what, I think we're all trying to do. And some of the book tours that we've done, we did one in Houston a couple of weeks ago. And, it might be people that maybe you would have never met or hooked up with or linked up with. But I mean, you're there, you're getting to share, you're exchanging social media, and you're just getting to connect with people. And I think that's what this book is doing. I know many bad things came out of what we're going through right now with the COVID stuff, but like right now we're on Zoom, and in many areas, I mean, I would have never been on Zoom before, but in a lot of the interviews we've done, like Cellos in Maryland, Woody's, in Houston. But there were many men that were all over the country. I probably would have never had the opportunity to connect with them. So I just think we're just trying to, be a positive influence on so many people. And one thing also, is like people are always watching and looking. So be that positive influence on them. Like me, for example, in my job, like I'll have 4 classes, I'll have 70 something, second grade students. So they're always watching me. So I got to make sure I'm being a positive influence on them. Just with everything I do, how I treat situations, how I talk to anybody, how I address them. I want to do my best to set a good example for them.
Yeah.
And when I talk to them, I don't talk to them about if you go to college, when you go to college, I tell them when you go, or trade school or military, whatever, just try to plant that positive influence in them. And, if they keep hearing it, they're gonna, hopefully lead that right path.
I think too, Melissa, if I can kind of say a little bit more on that,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind, just hearing Manny talk, just hearing you ask it about, I think for those men or people that are watching this, I would want them to understand that it's bigger than you. And when you get to a point to where you realize it, like it ain't about me, like when you get to that point and you realize that, hey man, it's not just about you, it's about what you can do to be a blessing and help others. And I'm thinking about this journey, right? And there's several experiences that come to mind and heart that make me smile and make me happy. We've been able to donate books to kids at a school that will remember these experiences forever. Been able to travel with family to go places that, like growing up, like would have never thought that like did we do that? Like took my family to a DC tour. We checked out the Capitol, did the tour, and my niece, my young niece asked, why did you decide to, be an author? And I was able to tell her, because of this experience, because I want you to see that it's possible for you to be able to do things like this. Our family can do things like this and impact the world and help others. And so to be able to just, not just by what I say, because we can talk all day long, right? I did, but by my actions, I can show my family and the brothers that I'm connected with and give them experiences to show them that, man, like we can do this. And it's the same thing for those of you that are watching. Like when you have that mentality that is bigger than you and it's not about me, like you will achieve so many amazing things that will continue. I'm living a life where I'm continuing to surprise myself every day. Like, wow. like I'm thinking about, man, like growing up as a kid with a single parent mom in a small house. Sometimes we didn't have running water. I mean, like all of those trials and tribulations that I'd never thought that like somebody's really like interviewing me to talk about a book that I published. Like for real. Like with a group of great men that's doing amazing things. Really? And so would have never thought as a kid that I'd be doing any of this. And that's what it's about. When you make it bigger than you and you understand your why, you'll surprise yourself every day with the blessings that you'll receive, but then more than that, the blessings that you'll be able to help and give others too.
I want to tell this story about Woody, because I know Woody won't tell it about himself, but Chip and Woody, and they met up with one of the authors in the book in San Antonio, and a mother came and she brought her young daughter there, and she would say that her daughter was reading Woody's chapter at night before she went to bed, and then she's there at the book tour, with Woody, and she's reading it to Woody. That's the impact of influence right there. I guarantee that young lady will never forget Charles Woods, and that's the impact that that he has on people. That we know it. We've had the pleasure of working with Woody. And I just want to tell that story because I know he won't tell it about himself, but I thought that was amazing that here's a young lady that he probably would have never connected with, but you know, she's there reading, and she's reading his chapter and reading it to him. And I could, you know, Woody's not a very, you know, he kind of contains his emotions, but I could tell in the pictures that I saw there, I mean, he was like in awe, and that's awesome to see. Good job,
But
Woody.
I think just with the title of the book itself, it's a huge opportunity to connect with so many different people for a variety of different reasons.
Yes.
It's one of those things that you never know who's going through what or who needed some type of extra push.
Yeah.
And a minute they may either, you know, watch this interview, see the book, or anything that interview posting online, it may be that one thing that gives them that it, you know, that they need, you know, to go get it. So I think this is a great opportunity with so many different things that's happening in the world right now. And I mean, I can say, who thought that, you know, I would live through a pandemic, that I would experience it and all these different things that's happening. You hear about it all the time that happened back in the early 1900s or 1800s, but, you know, who would have thought that you would be in this place? But, you know, one great thing about it is we have technology and we have been using it, but we've become more resourceful on how we're using technology, and more people are embracing it than they have before. So with this book, it's going to make a bigger impact than I think you can imagine. It's just a matter of, you know, people seeing it in that word of mouth, and everybody's, you know, putting those nuggets out of, you know, of why they should have and the things that they should do with the book. So, I mean, I could see this as a retreat. I could see this being in some lessons in church. I could see,
Amen.
I could see a vision of some other things happening.
Come on. I got the organ. Dun, dun, I'm gonna take it.
So I mean,
come on.
I mean, it's and this could even help, you know, with women, you know, that have boys or issues with their spouses. So I mean, it's a variety of different things that, you know, we can say that this book can have. So with that being said, let's kind of go right into the Success Chronicles. And because they do kind of tie, but one, Chip, let me know, how did you come up with that, and why did you know, want to have like the Success Chronicles?
Well, I started the Success Chronicles about 6 years ago. And what it is, it's my YouTube channel and podcast, and I interview people from all walks of life, and I share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. And it all, like, I'm an avid, like, I love music. I love stories. I love learning. I love listening to people's, you know, experiences so that I can gather, you know, learning lessons from those and then share those to help others. And so what I've done is I've just taken all of those things that I love, put them together, and came out with the Success Chronicles. And along this journey, it's like I said, it's continuing to blow me away. It's grown at a crazy rate. I've been able to, and it just started out with, I wanted to just highlight the people that I was around that I thought highly of, right? And so then it started to grow. Like, I've interviewed like some of my favorite athletes, you know, or, you know, movie stars, or, you know, just different people, people that I read their books, you know. And so it's been a neat journey. But it's allowed me to grow and be here in this place that I am today, as, you know, as far as a speaker and a life coach and a multiple time best-selling author, and you know, all of those things that I've been blessed to achieve and accomplish. It all started with me just taking that one step to highlight other people, right? To show appreciation to other people. And from that, so many amazing things have happened, and a whole lot of folks have believed in me with this journey. And for that, I'm truly grateful because they didn't have to choose to do that.
No, I mean, we're right. And that kind of goes to marketing a little bit. You know, a lot of people that I work with and, you know, come across, you know, whether it's a product or service that they have. And that's what so many people forget is that if you don't have these people that like your product, you don't have it. I don't care how much you think is great, is innovative, and it's the best thing out. You could think that all day long, but if it's not for the other people that's really seeing the impact that it's giving, the way that it's helping them, you know, in their life, their lifestyle, making something easier, whatever it is, it's not about you. You know, you always have to remember that it's not about you. So no, I thank you for saying that. Now with the Success Chronicles, like I said, you interview a variety of different people that come on your show to share their stories. What are one of the stories that really, I won't say caught you by surprise, but just really stuck with you?
Oh man, like it's so many.
So many.
And I've learned so much. Like I'm a quote junkie. Like I said, I love stories. So like I have tons of that that I've gathered. But I'll just start with the guys on this interview with me. You know, you look at like Manny Trujillo, you know, we grew up together. You know, so I know his story, you know, I know his journey, family, you know, and so just to see the great things that he's accomplished, to be that leader in his family and how he's done that. You know, from him, I've learned to just have consistency and work hard and do your thing. You know, a guy like a Charles Woods, you know, he shared his story, you know, and from him, I've learned it don't matter where you come from, you can achieve great things, right? None of that matters. Like if you choose to be positive, you want to do the work, you can do great things, you know, from a guy like Leonard Cello Webb, you know, hey, just go to work, you know, give to those people that need it, right? Give with a servant's heart, and you're going to receive those things in return. So that's just 3 examples from the Success Chronicles, and I've interviewed all 3 of them. You know, so you know they've supported me, they rock with me, they believe in what I do. I've interviewed them on my platform, and those are the stories from them that I've learned. And so just in those 3 scenarios, I'm a better person because of those things that I told you.
Yeah.
Right. And not only am I a better person, but now I'm more equipped, right, to help. Like I got some tools in my toolkit from these guys, you know, that now I can go take those and use those with all the people that I love and care about to help them be better as well. And so that's kind of what the Success Chronicles has been for me. It's been so cool. Like I said, like I'm an avid learner. I love to learn, love stories, love music. And I've just taken all of those things, put them together, and hopefully, you know, created a product that will impact the world in an amazing way long after I'm gone.
Wow. We could talk about this all day long. I mean, it's so many things that we can hit, and there's no telling how long this will happen. But what I would like to do before we end this interview is to go around the room, starting with you, Chip, to give one good tip on achieving success.
Ooh, man, just one?
This thing could go.
Okay. If I have to narrow it down to just one, to me, I would boil it down to go get it. You know, nothing of significance is gonna come to you. Like you can't just, like you see Cello, right? Like I can't just look at the bar and expect to get swole, right? To have big muscles. Like I can't just like look at a book and expect to gain knowledge, right? I can't just sit back in my chair and expect for great things to happen for me and my family. Man, I got to get off my butt and go get it, right? I have to make great things happen. And so for those of you that are watching or listening to this, if there's anything that you want to do in your life, you need to know that you are capable of doing that. The big man made us all a one of one, right? So in that, you know, right now, you got what it takes. You just got to go get it. And that's what I would leave with.
Okay, let's go to Charles next.
All right. My word every day is great. You know, I think great every day. And I like to use my slogan is think great, do great, and you be great. You know, you think great every day, you wake up great, you think about the great things that you can accomplish in life. You do things that are great, you do things for others, you serve others. Like everyone said on this podcast, it's not about yourself, and you will be great. And those around you will be great. So that energy, and I capitalize it every time I write it, every time I type it, I capitalize that word great, because we all have the opportunity to be great. It's a mindset. So when you wake up in the morning, there's no time for complaints, no matter where you are in your life. It's time to push forward. You should be learning something every day. I tell people, don't feel sorry for me, make me better. You know, the struggles that you go through, it doesn't matter. Like, you can be better from that day that you woke up and something wasn't going wrong to the end of that day at night when you lay down. You can do something to push yourself forward. So, you know, you got to think great. If you want it to happen, it starts with the number one person that you look in the mirror at, it's yourself. So think great, do great, be great. Don't feel sorry for me. Make me better every day.
I love that. I love that. May.
One thing I would say is resources. That was part of my writing in the book was, like Chip said, I came from a big family. So I had like 60 plus first cousins, and I'm one of the younger ones. So I used all of my older cousins, brothers as resources. And I watched what they did, how they did it. If they were successful at it, I tried to copy that. If they did something that I knew wasn't great, I found out kind of what they did, and maybe I didn't want to go that way. You know, like today, I mean, y'all are my resources today, and I'm a better person because I've had the opportunity to listen to all of you, and I'm blessed to be able to do that. And I also, you know, feel like, you know, good things happen to good people. You know, just be a good person, serve others. It's not about, like Chip says, not about you. You know, concentrate on other people.
Wow. Leonard, you're next.
I would say, see a problem, create a solution. We can't get conversations about doing something. We have to actually go out and do it. And that was the thing with Chip. When he came to me, it wasn't about, hey, help me get to where I want to be. It was like, how can I help you? And the only way you can be blessed is by being a blessing to others. And Chip's been a blessing to me. So on Manny and C Woods has been a blessing. I try and pass on them blessings to other people, just so I can get my blessings. And if you're a blessing to others, as long as you make sure somebody else's life is okay, God will make sure your life is okay.
Wow. Thank you so much. Chip, how can people get this book, order it, get connected with you, the guys?
Yeah.
Let us know all that.
Well, I like for, you know, the guys that get an opportunity to go around and tell their social medias, if you don't mind, because
Absolutely.
you know, they all have their own all online ways that you can purchase their books and their products, you know, and I can promise you that, you know, your audience, you will not be disappointed if you take the time to go check these guys out and what they're doing and what they're involved in. Lots of positivity, lots of positive inspiration. And I'll just tell you, you know, personally, like I do that so I can learn from those guys too. So you won't be disappointed if you take the time to do it. So Cello, we'll start with you, brother. Tell them how they can get you.
On all social media, it's at Wevolutionary. My website is intheschooltoprisonpipeline.com. And the 2 is the number 2, not the letters T0. So in the school to prison pipeline.com. savvythebizpod.com. You can find me. And I appreciate being on the interview. As always, I appreciate my fellow Avengers, and God bless.
C. Woods.
All right, ULL grad, 1911. That is my, what is that, Instagram? That is my Instagram, at ULL grad 1911. There's one at the end of it for my Twitter, ULL grad 1911 for my Twitter, Charles Woods on Facebook and Instagram. Again, Melissa, I appreciate you having us on your platform this afternoon. Appreciate Chip, appreciate all my brothers out there. And I look for all the positive things that come from this book. Appreciate you. Much love to everyone.
Manny T.
On Facebook, it's just Manny Trujillo. Instagram is manlawtrue. That's MANLAWTRU. And then on Twitter, it's ML Trujillo 31. Again, Melissa, thank you so much. Again, I'm better today because I've had that opportunity to hear y'all. So thank you so much.
And then my social media is all Chip Baker, TSC, as in the Success Chronicles. All my social media is that, except for Twitter. Twitter is Chip Baker 19. And so whatever platform you're on, your platform of choice, it's all out there. I don't want to be any excuse for you not to experience some of this positive inspiration or motivation. So go out there and go get it. And again, Melissa, thank you so much for having us. We truly appreciate it. My Impact brothers, thank you guys for rocking with me and believing in me and for being on and sharing and making an impact in the world. So let's get it. Thank you, Melissa.
Words can't express. This was, like I said, we could take this on and on and on, but I thank each and every one of you for taking out the time today to be on this interview. And I can't wait till it's out so everyone can see this. And I know that they're going to get something out of this. And they're going to be knocking on, if not all of you, somebody's door saying, hey, wait a minute, I need to connect. So thank you again for participating on this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's right. Go get it. Go get your hat today. Purchase it today. Look at the link, copy, paste it, buy it. Go get it. You also have the opportunity to purchase The Impact of Influence Volume 2. This book was written not only by Chip Baker, but from all the guys that you've heard from today and many others. You don't want to miss it. Go out and get your copy today. Follow us on our Instagram at SavvyMagBiz and on our YouTube channel, Savvy the Business Podcast. Do you want your business in front of an international audience? Advertise with us today, Savvy the Business Podcast. Send us an email at media@savvymag.biz. That's media@savvymag.biz. Send it today. Don't get left out. Thank you for joining us on Savvy the Business Podcast. If you want to be a guest, send an email to media@savvymag.biz. That's media@savvymag.biz. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be heard by millions.